Yeah, hello everyone. Is my voice audible, guys? Okay. So, guys, from today, I'm going to start with the second batch of my free React JS. So, basically, this is the batch number 2 where I am providing the React JS in a free. So, this is the batch number 2. So, last month, I have completed my batch 1 where I have covered entire React session completely in the free session, in a free. So, you can find on YouTube my first or 8 sessions which I have uploaded on YouTube as well. First, something like 7 or 8 sessions I have updated on YouTube. Okay. In the same way, I'm going to continue this batch as well. But there is a slight change in this batch. So in the first session itself, I'm going to mention all that. So this batch, so in this batch, I'm going to cover React JS free live sessions. So live sessions will be completely free, and that too if you attend regularly. So in case if you are not attending regularly, then link will not be shared with you for next sessions. If you are regular, then only link will be shared. That is the first condition. Second condition, there are no recordings for this session. So I won't provide any recordings for this session. So this session is completely live. So there is no recording. I will provide you the notes in the form of PDF. I will provide you the notes in the form of paint file. Plus, I will provide you the notes, not notes, like I will provide you the class code. Whatever coding part we are going to do, all that class code I will provide. Now, React sessions will be from, basically it will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Or maybe I will take it 10:45. So this batch will go very slow and it will go in very depth. So I have planned nearly 50 to 55 sessions for this batch. 50 to 55 live sessions for this batch. So React, I'm going to cover in complete depth. So here I won't start with JavaScript. I'm pre-assuming that you guys know JavaScript, and completely 50 to 55 sessions will be completely on React. Anyways, I have started my JavaScript series also on YouTube. So right now I'm recording all the videos. Once I recorded all the videos, then I will post on the YouTube. So right now I have recorded around 12 videos. Now one by one, I will be posting those videos on the YouTube. So in case if you want to refresh your JavaScript sessions, you can do that. Okay. So as I have mentioned, this batch will be completely free, means live sessions will be completely free. There will be no recording, because if I provide recording, people are not coming to live session. That is what I have observed in the batch 1. And when I provide recording, people won't watch recordings and they won't come to the live session also. It's like waste of time. Notes, anyways, I'm going to provide. So I'm creating my own notes for this batch. Like already I have shared with my batch 1. So same notes I will be sharing with you guys. So complete my own notes are present, which is in the PDF format. Paint files, as you know, my style is of creating the paint files on daily sessions and drawing a lot of diagrams and writing some content and showing, explaining the things, and class code I will be providing. So classes will be on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And what we are going to do on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday is I am planning practice sessions. So you will have Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday. On these days, you will have a practice sessions. In these practice sessions, you are going to do so many things, guys. The first, you will have a practice, means instructor will give one problem to you. Now you guys will have 15 minutes. Now you guys have to solve it. So after 15 minutes, if you are not able to solve, then that instructor is going to solve that problem for you. So like this, he might take you 2 or 3 problems based on in which context we are, and he is going to solve those questions, and he is going to give the time for you to solve those questions. So in that way, we are going to do the practice. In the same practice sessions, we are going to implement interview sessions. Interview sessions means, so on particular day, instructor will be discussing all the interview questions based on whatever topics we have covered. So let's assume that this week we have covered 2-3 topics. Now on those 2-3 topics, what kind of interview questions will come? How we have to answer? What should be the answer? Like that, all those interview questions and answers is going to discuss. Means every week you will have an interview session. You will have one practice session. And in the same way, I will be conducting mock interviews. So mock interviews are not at all mandatory. If you think I want to give mock interviews, I want to check based on current knowledge, how much I'm able to answer, where I need to improve. So for that also, we are arranging the mock interviews. Plus, you will have the mentoring sessions. Now I have a real-time employee who is right now working in the industry. So he will be mentoring you guys. He will be solving all your doubts, whatever you have. He will be showing his project on which he is working, what he have done, like how will be the process, everything, whatever experience he have, he is going to share that experience with you guys. So he has around 3 years of experience. So he will be sharing his experience. So he will be taking the practice session, interview sessions, mock interviews, and mentoring session. Okay, so that instructor will be taking, and when it comes to live sessions, I will take the live sessions. So like this, in very depth, we are going to cover. So if you attend all these live sessions, and if you practice well, and if you keep revising, then 100% you will get very good knowledge on the React. I'm pretty sure that you will get very good knowledge on the React. Right now, React has very good demand. Now, why React has very good demand? Because if you go with any full stack, now everybody in the front end, people are preferring React only. So if you go with Monstack, in front end, people prefer React. If you go with Java full stack, so like 1 year or 2 years back, people used to prefer Angular, but now people are preferring React. If you go for .NET full stack, here also people used to prefer Angular, but now people are preferring React. If you go with Python full stack, here also people are preferring React only in the front end. So whatever backend might be, but front end ultimate, it is a React. That's why if you learn React, if you just know React, that's more than enough to get the job. No need to be a full stack developer as well. If you focus on front end part, at least you will get the job as a front end engineer. You can start working as a front end engineer. Meanwhile, slowly you can start learning your back end as well. So that within next 6 to 8 months, you will be like complete full stack engineer. Complete full stack engineer. Okay. So take React very seriously for next 2-3 years. You have very good demand on, I mean, very good future on React. So these are the basic things, guys, which I wanted to explain before I start my session, because if people are not agreed with these conditions, they can directly drop. They will not waste their time. That is the reason I just wanted to cover all this in the initial phase only. But there will be some people who wants recording. So without recording, they cannot study, or they feel that we want recordings, we want this mentor sessions, practice sessions, all that. So for those people, so what I am doing now for this particular batch, I am charging 2K. 2K if you need recording. If you don't want recording, you just want to attend live sessions, then no need of paying any amount. Directly you can join freely, but you have to be consistent. If you miss 3 sessions back to back, or maybe within 15-20 days, if you miss 3 days or 3 sessions, then link will not be shared for you for the next sessions. So in case if you want recording, then I'm just charging 2K. In this 2K, you will get the recording, plus you will get the mentoring, you will get the mock interviews, plus you will be working on real-time use cases problems in the practice sessions. So if you don't want to pay anything, you just want to learn the things, then you can, without fees, like without paying anything, you can just attend the live sessions. You can simply attend the live sessions. Because I have seen with my experience, if something is free, we will never have a respect for that things. We will never respect the things which are coming in free. That is what I have observed. That is the reason. So the people who don't want to pay anything, they just want to learn the things, they can directly attend the live sessions and they can learn. So the people who wants recording, who wants mentoring sessions, who want to give mock interviews. Again, mock interviews are not mandatory. If you say I want to give, then only we will conduct. And the people who wants to see on certain topics how the real time problems will be, what will be the scenarios. So all those things we are going to discuss, because with you, a real time instructor will be sitting in the practice session where he will be sharing all his experience. So he will be showing the examples. He will be discussing the real time use cases. He will be solving those problems in front of you. He is going to help you whatever he can do. So this is what the initial introduction I wanted to give about this course. Yeah, one more advantage, guys. Suppose if you opt for this 2K, so after this, I'm going to start a real-time project batch on React and Node. Trust me, guys, this project batch will be completely different from what you are finding in the market. So here we are going to develop two major projects. And before I start that batch, I will be showing you the output also, what projects we are going to develop, what features we are going to develop. So I will be selecting 3 projects, and out of that 3 projects in this batch, we are going to create 2 major projects. So it can be like travel management. One more is a clone of Book My Show. And third one is maybe hotel management, like a Swiggy and Zomato kind of application or chat application. So out of all these 4 applications, we are going to create any 2 applications. And these 2 applications will be in so depth because you are going to learn so many things here. Not only creating the applications, I am planning for tools like Docker. We are going to learn about Docker. We are going to learn about Kubernetes. We are going to learn about AWS Cloud. So nearly something like 10 to 12 services we are going to learn. It's not like just for deployment sake. we are going to learn AWS completely in depth. Plus, I will be teaching you about Jira tool. So how Jira tool works and how in real time we are going to use this tool. Apart from this, I'm planning for Git and GitHub in very depth. It's not like just basics. So almost Git and GitHub will be around 5 to 6 hours session. It's just not like 1 hour or 2 hours. It's like 5 to 6 hours session. So all these things will be covered when I start this real-time project. So this will be completely paid. There will be no free for this batch because I'm going to do a lot of hard work for this to create all this. I have to explain the project because explaining the course or the a concept is very easy compared to explaining the project, because project requires lot of effort and requires lot of knowledge, plus requires lot of interest to teach that how it works. So that is the reason it will be completely paid. So the people who are opting for this, obviously for them, in case if they join this, I am going to provide discount for them. So let's assume that if I'm charging this as a 5K, then the people who opt for this, who learn React with me, for them, I might give this real-time project in same 2K only, because already they have paid here 2K. So this entire project, I might provide them only in the 2K. And very soon I will be releasing the output also, completely what project we are going to develop, what features we are going to develop. Everything I will be showing in the demo session itself. That is how this real-time project batch is going to be. So this is the introduction, guys, complete introduction. So before I start my live sessions, so I just wanted to cover this in initial phase only, so that even you guys will be clear. So if you are interested, you will join. If you are not interested, you will drop. But I'm going to start with this React.js free live sessions. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you will find some 7 to 8 React series. So you will find the videos there. You can go through that in case if you want to. But anyways, all those topics, again, I am going to cover in this series from this scratch as well. So here, if you want to learn, here you can learn, or else if you want to just in advance go through those videos, you can go through those videos also. So I just want you guys to fill this form, guys. Okay. So it takes just 1 minute for you to fill this form. So here I'm just asking your name, your phone number, your email ID, and do you want recorded videos or not? That's it. So if you fill this form, then I will come to know how many people want, how many people don't want. Okay. You just feel if you have any comments, if you want to convey something, you guys can add your comments. Again, this comments is not like it's completely optional. If you don't want to add anything, you can skip this field as well. So I will add this on the chat. Just take your 1 minute of time and fill that form, because it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 fields. It should not take more than 1 minute as well. So if you don't want, just say no, so that the people who will say yes, so I can contact them directly. So I won't message you, I won't call you, the people who don't want, because I don't want to disturb you guys as well. So the people who will say yes, only to those people I am going to contact. So you guys can fill your name, phone number, email ID, and just yes or no, whatever you have. And if you have any questions, if you want to convey anything, just feel free to add your comments here. The only thing I expect from you guys is discipline, guys. I just want discipline, because if you are disciplined, I'm pretty sure that you will be regular and you will keep practicing and you will keep revising. So the people who are struggling for jobs, for those people, discipline is very, very important. Okay. Yeah, so this is what I want to convey, guys. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions, feel free to add your questions on the chat, guys. So this is the only one session where I won't allow you guys to unmute yourself. But from the next session, I will allow you guys to unmute yourself. So when we are discussing the things, if you have any doubts, you can unmute yourself and you can ask, or you can use chat and you can uh, ask any questions, or if I ask any questions, you can answer. So I think 10 to 11 is better, right? So I'm just confused with two slots. So do you want 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. or you want 11 p.m. to 12 a.m.? So which slot will be better? Now don't say 10:30, okay? So we have only two slots. I can take the session on 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. or else I was planning for 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. So which will be better? Because I just want when we will be in the relaxed mind, right? Then I want you guys to learn the things. So anyways, we don't sleep before 12 or 1, right? So I think 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. or 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. So let me know your preferences. So anyways, right now with this batch, I wanted to stick with this part. But in case if most of the people are agreeing with this part also, then also I don't have any problem. Okay, guys. Now let's start with React. I hope everybody knows what is React now. So basically, React is a JavaScript. It is a JavaScript library. What is React? React is a JavaScript library used for building user interface. So what is React? React is a JavaScript library used for building user interface. Used for building user interface. So here I can add user interface. It means using React, we are going to create UI components. React is all about creating UI components. UI components are nothing but whatever you see on this screen. For example, a button on this screen is a UI component. A text box is a UI component. Radio button is a UI component. Your link is a UI component. If I open any website, for example, if I open Facebook, now when I open the Facebook login page here, whatever you are seeing, this entire thing is called user interface. But here each component, each part is called UI component. So this text box is called UI component. This password box is called UI component. This button is called UI component. This link is called UI component. So the collection of UI components are called user interface. So React is all about creating this kind of user interface. You can create text box using React. You can create password box. You can create buttons. You can create links. That is what React is all about. Now, so many people have the doubt that using React, can we create a front-end application? Only using React, can we create a front-end application? Or maybe web application, entire web application? For this, answer is no. For this, answer is no. You cannot create even a front-end application with React. If you are using only React, you cannot create even front-end application. You cannot create even web application. Then what we can do with React? With React, we can create only user interface. So many people think using React, we can create front-end application. But actually, we cannot create front-end application only with React. Why we cannot create front-end application only with React? Because if you want to create a front-end application, then you have to implement so many things. You have to create user interface. You have to design, you have to implement designs for user interface. You have to implement designs. You have to implement designs for user interface. You have to do API integration. API integration is nothing but you have to connect your front-end application with back-end part. You have to do form validation, nothing but we call it as a data validation. So whenever we are creating forms, then whenever user is entering some data in that form, we have to make sure that data is in our required format. For example, if I go to this create new account, now here user is asking me to enter mobile number or email address. Now here I am just entering my name. And here I'm clicking on sign up. When I click on sign up, before giving this data to backend, first we need to verify this data is in our required format or not. Here I was expecting either phone number or email ID, but this is not a phone number and this is not an email ID also. This is just a normal text called Sagar. So I should tell to the user, hey user, here you don't add your name. Instead of that, either you add your phone number or you have to add your email address. But let's assume that user is trying to enter like this phone number. Only 4-digit is entering. Now we should not allow this data also. We have to tell him, hey user, add a proper phone number here. Add a valid phone number here. So this process of checking whether the data is in our given format or not is called data validation. So to create front-end application, we should create user interface. We should implement design for our user interface. We have to implement API integration. We have to do data validations. We have to implement routing. Routing is nothing but switching from one part of your application to another part of your application. So right now, if you see, if I go to my Facebook application, right now I am in the create new account page. Nothing but sign up page. If I click on this link, I will go back to login page. I am in the login page. So from your sign up page to you came to login page. This process is called routing. Now, if I click on this forgotten account, then I will be on another page. This is called your forgot account page or find your account page. So we are able to switch from sign up to login to find account page. So this process is called routing. Routing is nothing but it is a technique of switching from one part of your application to another part of your application. So to create a front-end application, we have to implement this routing also. In the same way, if you want to create a front-end application, you have to implement user interfaces, design interfaces, API integration, data validation, routing. Like this, we have to do so many things, guys. We have to do so many things. Now, using React, we can create only user interface. Using React, can we implement designs? Answer is no. You cannot. If you want to implement designs, then you have to use CSS, means other language you have to use. Or else you have to use some other libraries like Material Design, Chakra UI, or maybe Tailwind CSS, maybe Bootstrap. Like this, you have to use another library for styling your UI components or user interface. Can we do API integrations with React? No, you cannot do. If you want to do API integrations, again, you have to take the help of some other libraries like Axios, like React Query, like Fetch API of browser. React is not providing us any functionality to do API integration. We have to depend on some other libraries. In the same way, can we do data validations? No, we cannot do data validations also. Again, if you want to do data validations, you have to depend upon some other libraries like React Forms. Maybe you have to depend on regex concept of JavaScript. So you cannot do data validations also. Can we implement routing in React? No, you cannot do. You cannot implement even routing in React. Can we implement unit testing? No, you cannot do unit testing also. Again, you have to depend on other library called Jest. Enzyme, Jest. We have some other libraries. So we cannot do even unit testing with React. We have to depend on some other libraries here as well. So all these things you cannot do with React. That is the reason you cannot create front-end application only with React. Then how people are creating front-end application with React? For that, what people are doing, they are using React for creating user interface. For styling your user interface, they are using Chakra UI. For doing API integration, they are using Axios. For doing data validation, they are using something called regex. For doing data management, they are using Redux. For implementing routing, they are using React Router. For implementing unit testing, they are using Jest. Like this, they are using so many libraries like React. They are using so many libraries like React to create front-end application. Only React is not possible. So if you combine React with this many libraries, then you will be able to create front-end application. Now, all these libraries are not developed by React creators or React developers. All these libraries are developed by some other developers who are not a part of Meta company. They are part of some other company, or maybe they are like a freelancer devs. This is the reason we cannot create front-end application only with React. So in our course, we are going to learn all this. We are going to learn how to create user interface, how to implement designs for our user interface, how to do API integration, how to implement data validation. So generally when I take live sessions, I don't teach data validations, but here I'm going to teach routing in depth. Unit testing also we are going to learn how to do unit testing. I don't teach unit testing also in my live sessions if I'm working with any other platforms. Because if I teach all this, my course content will be very long and those people won't allow me to teach this many things. So when I used to teach initially React, I used to take nearly 55 to 60 sessions. But when I switched to Amirpet with multiple platforms, now I am taking only 25 to 30 sessions. Now you can imagine how much content I have reduced. Almost 50% of the content I have reduced. So in one of the platform, when I taken my first batch, in that batch, I have taken around 55 to 60 sessions on React. In my first batch at some XYZ platform. Then when I started taking second batch, now they wanted to finish course early. They used to force me finish fast. Then I have switched back to the 25 to 30 sessions. But here I don't have any restrictions. I can go slow. I can take my own time, how much I want, and I can teach the things. This is the only reason I told that nearly 55 to 60 sessions I am planning, because how I used to teach initially to the people who were working in the industry, like who were having 2 years, 5 years of experience and they wanted to switch to React. They were backend developers. For those people, how I was teaching, in the same way I am trying to teach here. Okay. So I hope you guys understood what is React. So React is a JavaScript library. So in tomorrow's session, we will little bit dig into the what is library. Now see, in my live sessions, if someone attended my live sessions, I used to teach them what is library just by writing one sentence. Tomorrow we are going to discuss what is library, what are the advantages of library, what are the disadvantages of library, why React is called library. Then this library we will compare with framework. What is framework? Angular is a framework. So what is the difference between library and framework? In that process, we will compare React and Angular. Why React is became very popular compared to Angular. Though Angular is having more features, more functionalities, still why React is in more demand in the market. Why people are switching from Angular to React. So like this in very depth, we are going to discuss in tomorrow's session. So completely we will spend tomorrow's session on what is library, what is framework, what is the difference between them. Now, why people are using library, why people are not moving towards framework, when to use framework, when to use library. Now, this knowledge you should have. If you have this knowledge, then only you will be able to decide in future if any library comes, if any frameworks comes, which is the best way. So when you start working in the industry, now people will have to take certain decisions. Suppose let's assume that you are the part of some team. Now one project came to that team. Now they have to decide tech stack for that particular project. So this is our requirement. Which tech stack we have to use? We have to use MERN stack or Java stack or .NET stack. Which stack we have to use? So in such scenarios, if you want to participate in such decisions, then you should have all this knowledge. Then only you can decide whether for certain requirement library is better or framework is better. Then you can suggest. Then you can suggest whether you should go with React or you should go with Angular. So like this, in very depth, I'm going to teach. So I did not teach my batch one in that depth. Batch one I have completed I think I have completed soon only. Like around 35 to 40 sessions I have taken for them as well. But there were only 5 students who were regular for that batch. So when I started that batch, the strength was 80. So right now we got in this, I think I got around 21, 22 people, few people left as well. For this batch, for first session, I got 20 and 21. But when I started my batch one, in first session, I got 80. And then slowly, when I said, okay, recording will be available, I will give recording. Then slowly, people started leaving. And then after 8 or 9 sessions, I just got very less audience, like around 10 or yeah, only 10 were there. Then I decided now I won't be sharing my recordings on YouTube. Now the people who are regular, for them personally, I will be sharing. So in that way, at the end of this batch, only there were 5 people who were regular. Okay. So this is what I wanted to cover, guys. So tomorrow I will be taking the session because this week I will be taking the session till Friday. So from next week, we will start that alternate sessions. So because I need to cover at least minimum amount of content so that you guys can start practice. That is the reason this entire week I will have the sessions Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And from next week, we will have the sessions. Live sessions will be alternate, but the people who will enroll for them on Tuesday, on Thursday, and on Saturday, you will have a practice sessions. So like this, you will have complete 6 days sessions. Okay. So that's all, guys, from my end for today's session. Remaining things we will discuss in tomorrow's session. We will have a very depth understanding about library and frameworks in tomorrow's session. Yeah, if you have any doubts, just ping on the chat, guys. In case if you don't have any doubts, yeah, you guys can drop. Or I hope everybody has my number. Feel free to message if you have any kind of concerns, if you have any kind of doubts.